Hi, it's Max. Welcome back to The Art of the Craft. Today we have a special episode. I'm going to be making an American style bacon that is cured with sugar and salt and is smoked on the grill. Who doesn't like bacon? We have it two ways now. Let's get cooking. All right, credit where credit's due. First of all, the inspiration for this particular recipe came from a chef and website I follow called Cowboy Kent Rollins. I'll make sure to leave the link in the comments. He has a cowboy style bacon, and because I am not a cowboy, I've been cooking this for a while and I consider it my city slicker style bacon. What we're gonna do to make this very simple is I'm gonna put everything inside a vacuum sealer bag, all the herbs and spices with the pork belly, mix it around, and then seal it again. That's gonna do a couple things for us. It keeps it very clean and fresh, so there's no germs going in or out. You don't have to worry about that. But it's also gonna keep your refrigerator clean because you don't have to worry about things dripping when you flip the pork belly or bring it out. There's not pork juice all over the place. The first thing I want to do is go over all of our ingredients with you. I've got some brown sugar here. This is about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And I've got here some Diamond Kosher Salt. This is half a cup of the salt here. Grade A dark maple syrup. That's going to give us a really good flavor. When I think bacon, I think breakfast. This goes well together and it's going to impart some of those flavors there. Now this is the optional part. So these are some herbs and spices I've pulled from my garden. I have here some fresh thyme, some black pepper, and some bay leaves. You could really completely omit this part. You could change it up. You can do whatever you want with it. This is gonna give you some nice character to your bacon. And then I have some pink salt here. So the pink salt is special. It is not regular salt. It is a chemically treated salt that is going to keep the environment of the pork while it's curing safe for you to eat. It has to be a very specific ratio. So depending on what type of meat you're doing, how long your cure is, what the weight is, you're gonna wanna look it up and make sure that you're doing the right amount. And the last thing we have is about 1 ounce of bourbon, because bourbon maple bacon sounds fantastic. And it's an excuse for me to drink bourbon at 11 in the morning. You can fold your pork belly just like this to make it easy to get in the bag. Once it's in the bag, it'll unfold, so don't worry about that. So let's go ahead and start with the brown sugar. Now we're gonna put the regular white salt in, half and half on the other side. Now the all-important pink curing salt. Let's make sure that we're careful with this. It is 3/4 of a teaspoon, so we're gonna put it in. And now we have the maple syrup. Maple syrup can get just drizzled in, no problem. And we have our fresh herbs. So go ahead and put some fresh herbs on the top end. So as you can see, the bag has got some uneven clumps and we'll smooth those out over time. I'm not really worried about it. And the reason is as I vacuum seal this bag, it's gonna pull the plastic really tight to the bacon. Over time, the salt, the sugar, it's going to actually draw out a lot of moisture and it's gonna mix together. And as long as I kind of give it a nice squeeze or turn every other day, that distribution is gonna level out and it's not gonna matter. You won't have clumps in here. So the only thing we're missing at this point is a little bit of bourbon. 1 ounce of bourbon. Here you see the bacon is already in there and you can see a lot of it actually did distribute really well. And when I take this out, I'm gonna go ahead and every other day, maybe move it around a little bit and give it a little shake, and that way the rest of this is gonna distribute. Okay, see you in a week. It's been about a week since we put the bacon in the refrigerator. The next step is to open up this cryovac bag, dump out all the excess liquid, give the bacon slab a good rinse, and then we'll take it outside and get the smoke going. All right, well, this is the fun part now. We're gonna actually smoke the bacon. I've got my good friend RJ Peterson here. He's the grill meister for me. Whenever I think of pork belly, I think of RJ, so. Thanks, man. What are we doing?
Yeah, thanks, Max. Thanks for having me. So what we're doing here is we're going to smoke this bacon. You've already got the cure. It's got all that great flavor. We're just going to add a little bit of that. What you really think about when you think about bacon is, you know, the maple wood, the apple wood, the cherry wood, the sweetness. But if you like it a little bit smokier, you could use a hickory or a post oak.
Okay.
And so the key here is to be indirect, because you got all this great fat, but you don't want to render that out. You want to make sure you keep it there until you're ready to slice it up and eat it, which we'll do after the smoke. It has been 2 hours, so let's check on our bacon. Looks great. We're gonna pull this off, put it in the fridge, and slice it once it's cooled down so that fat is nice and firm for good slicing. So the bacon is done. As far as we're concerned, it's safe to eat no matter what you do from this point on. So you and I prefer slices and throw it in the skillet, throw it in the oven, so we're gonna do that and show you how to do it. You're gonna wanna use your largest knife. Now, I have a knife that's specifically for slicing, but I make quite a bit of bacon. So I got one off Amazon, it's about 50 bucks, nothing special. But the point is you want to have something that can make a nice consistent cut across the entirety of the pork belly.
So there's no actual bacon knife or anything like that. It is just your largest
Correct.
knife.
Yeah, I also like, you know, this is the same one I'd use for brisket or I'd use for any real big cut of meat.
Okay, good, good. And as far as the thickness, thinness, does it matter?
It's honestly a little bit knife skills. So if you're good at it, it should allow you, and then it's nice and cold, you should be able to get thin slices. I generally like thicker, and my hand control is easier to get thicker slices, so that's just naturally what I go with. But if you can do it, go for thinner, but if not, it's gonna be decently thick.
Okay, well I like it double thick like my thighs. Oh God, that's wonderful. It's salty. I can taste a little bit of the maple syrup in there. It's just not anything like a store-bought bacon that we're used to.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of taking it from pork belly to bacon. You know, you can change the flavor to anything you want. Experiment. If this didn't work, go for something different.
And there you guys have it. City Slicker Bacon. It's not nearly as hard as you thought it was gonna be. RJ, thanks for coming. Thanks for helping us out.
Happy to help.
Catch you next time.
Enjoy.
It's been about a week since we put the bacon. I should probably think through this first.
Hey ho.
Please move your hand around. Why, camera? Why would you do that?